AI can definitely save time and money. I know from my own experience that I'm saving hours a week. In fact, when I looked back over last year, I was saving about half a day a week through using AI tools to follow up on meetings, to record things, to draft things. It's just brilliant. And AI is a powerful tool that can streamline your operations, whatever those operations are, save you time and cut costs. And I guess it's the tools like predictive analytics, automated workflows, chatbots. These reduce the time that you're spending on manual repetitive tasks. And I think this heralds a time when as humans, we can really free ourselves of that kind of drudgery, really, and free ourselves up to have clear heads and to think big and think creatively, which is the thing that we are so good at. When you think about HubSpot, the way that it can automatically qualify leads, it can generate reports. You can even use AI now to generate workflows, write copy for emails. All of these things save so much time for you or your team. When I think about a recent project we did for a client, they were able to save 25% of the sales team's time by using AI to prioritize leads, automate follow-up, and build out proposals and responses to tenders and things like that. And what did that mean they could do? It mean they could spend more time talking to people, spend more time on those human interactions that were most likely to close deals, and all of that without increasing headcount. So AI isn't just about automation, it's about making smarter decisions and doing that faster, and it's going to save you time and money. Adopting AI can be a big step for any business, and what I've discovered working with my own business and clients is it's natural for team members to have concerns. But if you want to move forward with AI, which I think you need to, then you need to address these objections in order to get the implementation and get the business using it. So how would I approach that? I think there's some real common objections that you need to think about that I hear a lot. So the first one clearly is about job security. Is this going to take my job? Then there's about just the complexity of trying to understand it and trying to do it. There's trust in the outputs. Is it true? Is it accurate? And then the other one I hear a lot about is our data going to be used and trained other models, and it's going to somehow appear somewhere else in the internet and sensitive information that I've got. So I think the first thing to do is to really explore those yourself, understand those objections yourself, and work out how much of a risk they are and how much you should be concerned about them, and then put together some answers to that in order to explain that to the team. For example, with the concern about my data is going to appear somewhere in some other response in ChatGPT, there's a really simple answer to that. Is you buy ChatGPT Enterprise or the equivalent in other systems, which guarantees to ring fence your interactions with ChatGPT, and it goes no further than your account. So straight away that deals with that concern. And there are answers to all of these questions. So for example, with accuracy, my answer to that is, if you were an engineer, how do you check the calculations that an engineer makes for building an oil rig? And the answer to that is you ask another engineer to check it. So if you build in checks and balances, so if somebody produces some content or a calculation through AI, then somebody checks it as if a human had done it, then you're essentially achieving the same results. So I think overcoming objections to AI is about transparency, thinking through those objections, training, and then slowly working with people in the business. Sometimes people will naturally come to the surface who are very pro AI, and they can be your, if you like, your adoption team. But it's about making sure that it's right for your business and making a decision AI is right for business, and then working with the individuals to bring them along on that exciting journey with AI. AI is a powerful tool, but managing the risks and people's fears and concerns about it is essential if you're going to use it effectively within your business. And if I just talk about how we use it at Boom and how we've approached this ourselves, everybody at Boom is encouraged to use AI, whether you're in the consultancy team, project management team, sales function, operations, it doesn't matter. We see AI as a tool that can make life more enjoyable. It can take away some of the grunt work for employees. And as a business, we see its huge potential to, in some cases, improve the quality of our work, but definitely make people more productive and do things more efficiently. And that's why everybody has paid for tools at their disposal to use. So in most cases, that's at least 3 AI tools. But in terms of managing the risks, I think the first thing that's really, really important is to come together as a team and define your AI policy. Now, it's funny, with our journey on our AI policy, we created a working group on this, and the team did a brilliant job. They went away and they talked about the issues and the concerns, and they came up with I think it was like 10 pages or something. But it's kind of unmanageable. They had been so risk averse in the rules and the stipulations they put there that we felt as a senior leadership team that we couldn't actually use this. It meant our hands were completely tied. So we took a step back and we ended up with really 3 core principles for that AI policy. The first one is human oversight. So whenever somebody's using AI tools, they at all times are responsible for the outputs. They cannot have a situation where they run a query in ChatGPT and it comes up with the wrong information and they give that to the client and then they blame the AI. No. It's your work. You're using AI tools to support you, but you are ultimately accountable for the output and the stuff that you're doing. So having that human oversight and accountability is number 1. Number 2 is about transparency. So at all times, we will be transparent with our team members and our clients and our prospects that we have used AI. If it comes into the conversation, we feel it's important, we will be transparent that that has been part of our journey to produce whatever it is we've produced. So transparency. And I think the final one is about the confidentiality of the data and security around the data you're putting in. So all of our tools have to have very clear user access restrictions. And it's important that all the tools we use do not allow our data that's put into it to be used to train their model. So it can never leave our account. And that's really, really important in terms of managing risk. So we've got those 3 core principles. We're on a journey now as a business to understand how this can really work for us. And we will be actively monitoring how people are using it, getting the feedback and adjusting our AI policy, because I think by doing that, we're going to manage the risk and we're really going to unlock its potential for our business. As an AI evangelist, it's become an essential part of my day-to-day. It's helping me get more done. It's freeing up my head to do better work, more creative work. But I thought it's useful to really share 3 or 4 use cases of how I use AI every day. So the first one would be Google Gemini and the Google Suite. So just in terms of managing my email, like lots of people, I'm getting lots of emails. Sometimes it's quite a lot of thought to respond to something. It needs a lot of nuance. And I'll now use Google to draft that initial draft of the email. And it takes the heavy lifting away, allows me to go back over it and finesse it and get it where I want to do. I find my emails are more timely, they're more considered, and sometimes where there's some sensitivity there, it's actually really good at just being diplomatic, perhaps a bit more diplomatic than I would be. Second use case is Fathom. Fathom is this incredible tool that records your Google Meet, your Zoom meeting. So it comes along with you. It's called a note taker. It comes along. So it'll attend a meeting. And because I know it's taking the notes, what that means is that I can just sit back and listen to the customer or the prospect. And I can listen and I can ask questions appropriately, and I can really have a much more engaging, useful conversation because I'm not thinking I need to write stuff down. And that's kind of the beginning of it, because the second part then is I have the transcripts. So everything that was said, everything that was discussed is then distilled down to the AI notes that then get automatically put into HubSpot. So whenever I'm going back thinking about what do we need to do next with that really important client or prospect, I've got a summary of what was said straight away. I'm right back in that meeting. I'm not having to go around and find it and all the rest of it. I think ChatGPT, obviously, incredibly useful for data analysis. So if I'm looking at stats that I have around our sales process or around the business, I will work with ChatGPT alongside me to kind of look at the trends, maybe do some regression analysis, and just help me understand the data in a different way. Almost like you've got somebody in your room as a data analyst, and that's incredibly useful. And then, of course, we've got HubSpot. So, I mean, we use HubSpot as one of our critical business systems. The AI feature that I really, really like, that I find very empowering, is deal scoring. So deal scoring is very good in a coaching scenario with a sales team, where we can look at the AI score for this deal out of 100. HubSpot might say, this is actually only 35. The rep might say, this is definitely closing. This is my best deal, and getting very, very excited. Happy ears, wishful thinking. And we're able to sort of narrow that gap, because we can have a conversation about why they think that and why the AI thinks that. And we're able to kind of get a bit more of a realistic picture of where that deal's likely to come. So that's how I use AI every single day, every single week. And I can tell you, it's saving me probably half a day a week. And I can't recommend it highly enough.